I was like, let's see, I'm 39 now. I was like 37 years old when I realized that the bots of Power Rangers were actual people. And look, I know it sounds stupid as fuck, but you gotta hold on, wait, work with me
Like
for a
you
minute.
didn't know that there was people wearing
No,
like
look,
cosplay gear?
that's just, okay. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
So when I know I know where you're coming from because it's like a mental training that you do. When we do the intro, you should probably go last. And the reason because you always go like, how's everybody doing out there? And like just totally like kicks my legs out from under me. He did that on my pod too. And I was like, oh shit. It's like
I actually thought about that, and I was like, you know what? Like maybe we should change the order. I didn't think about that.
No, I mean, I see. I think is when I hear it, I don't mind it because it just sounds like that's what he says. Versus, he's not actually like they're not asking for. There's no live audience. You're not asking for an actual reply.
but it's like
It's like
I
you know
know,
what I mean.
but it's funny because it's like there's always dead air for like a second or two, and then I'm like, well, I'm Marcos at this. It's like if you guys physically just added me to the pod last minute. You're like, oh shit, we forgot about that motherfucker. Yeah, he's also here too. And it's like, and the only reason I brought it up is because there was a guy, I'm doing like this wrestling pod with a couple of my friends, Shane and Derek. You met them at I think in Indiana.
Yeah.
Like Derek wanted to do a wrestling pod, and like one of the guys keeps interjecting, like he doesn't know the cues. So
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was like, why am I getting like he did it once, and I was like, bro, you got to stop doing that. And then I was like, I'm not mad at him. Because I had just finished editing the other pod, and then for the first time ever, I realized that Chris doesn't have social media.
Yeah.
So, so I'm like, yo, where can they find you? He's like, nowhere. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Chris is he's a hermit. Like we talked about living like a hermit. Chris lives, backwoods. He's Jethro for real.
I'm incognito over here, man.
Oh no, man.
Incognito.
Yes, indeed.
Jesus.
I got like 6 aliases: Incognito, Uncle Ruckus.
Yes, man. His mailbox has 7 different names. It's like, nah. Who's that for? Nah,
His
he
mailbox,
ain't no more.
his mailbox just there for show. It don't open. He don't accept shit. They can never give him nothing.
He's like Kramer. Kramer opted out of mail. Like I don't know if you guys watch Seinfeld. He opted out of mail, and it was like a whole thing in the episode. Like the postmaster's like, "You can't do that," and he's like, "Oh, I am." And he's like, "No, you will be taking this mail."
Chris, like what's the one thing besides social media that you could, if you could get rid of that part as well to detach a little more, what would it be?
Hold on one second, guys. I have somebody at my door.
I thought I heard a doorbell. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and it's my dog barking. So give me a second. Keep talking. Yes, this is a live podcast, guys.
Yeah. Marcos's Pringles got delivered.
What
is it? What's something that if you could cut it out of your life? Obviously the social media is already one, but like what's something else you could cut out of your life to detach a little more from, modern society?
You know what? I still watch regular TV. I still watch Fox and NBC and ABC. And
you like you're always watching like NCIS because that's like the only thing on.
Sometimes I'm on the Laugh channel and it's Chairman you on or something. I don't know. Comment.
That ain't regular TV. That's Pluto. That ain't
no Pluto's an app. I mean, I still have like a whole antenna attached that hangs off the window. You know what I'm
saying? Okay. I feel like for you. And this is something I just I don't know. Maybe it makes you feel a little more bougie or whatnot. But I feel like
bougie about me. Keep going.
No, but I feel like someone like you would use.
Whoa. What you mean, someone like him?
Just let me finish.
What you mean?
So I feel like someone like Chris would make use of like Instacart or someone delivering the groceries so they don't got to go out into the world.
First of all,
pump your brakes, kid. I like these fluffy.
There's a there's a couple that is real close to me and my wife that they use Instacart, and I'm like, the New York, Brooklyn guy that grew up with meager means is like, nah, like that 30 or 20% markup. That's something that you can keep in your pocket. Like I'll go somewhere, and like I get it, they have kids and that's why they do it. But I'm like,
No,
I
listen,
don't trust it.
I don't know. Chris is like me. I like tangible items. I like looking at the items and making sure this is the right thing I want.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably gonna sound really, really bad. I don't give a shit. I think that's just lazy. But don't get me wrong. Sometimes everybody has a certain lifestyle they live, and you
Mhm.
can't do those things. So it might be convenient. But if you live above a Publix and you are getting your food delivered, you lazy piece of shit. Get in the elevator, go downstairs, and get the shit. You
Yeah,
know
don't
what
even
I'm saying?
take the
Wait, do
stairs.
you
Get in
know
the elevator.
somebody? Do you know somebody that's done that? Is that are we? It sounds like you have a very specific gripe. Somebody.
Um, I just know a friend of mine has a Publix like right across the street from him, and will still get shit delivered unless he needs
Hold,
water. Then he'll
hold,
go recharge it himself.
hold on. I
That's
feel
crazy.
personally attacked right now, and
Wait,
I
is
ain't
that
never and
you,
I ain't never
Sarah?
used. I don't use Instacart, but I feel like this is a personal attack.
It wasn't an attack, but yeah, you ain't never seen this car. That shit is like right next door to you.
No, yeah, it's down. I walk over there sometimes, or I used to where I used to live over there, motherfucker. Man, fuck you. First of all, secondly, welcome
It looks
to
like
the
you
late.
might not have that friend anymore, Chris, after today.
Well,
I ain't
who's
never
that?
see Sarat. I ain't never see Sarat take something so
No, I
personal.
thought you ever
Like
see
he never
if you watch it back,
like,
you're
wait
like,
a
oh,
minute,
you see the
motherfucker.
wheels turning in Sarat's head. Like, I think he knows who he's talking about.
Like
What that is
it's
that?
like
Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi. You made the big deal about
okay.
switching.
It's your boy Marcos, aka the Sunset Kid. How y'all doing out there?
Really?
You raggedy motherfucker.
It's your boy Chris Brown that came in for nothing. Asshole.
Well,
God,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, convenience. One of the things that that comes up with convenience is the idea of going to the theater versus streaming. So like that's what we do on the pod is we watch stuff that gets streamed to your house, which depending on how you are when it comes to movies, some people like that whole theater experience, but one of the benefits is you get all these movies that come to your house that you might not have had the chance to see in the theater or might not even knew about. Right? Like, has streaming changed the way you guys take in media?
Yeah.
Definitely.
For me, it's a slippery slope. Like, I always get like advanced titles here and there, or if like a movie has been recently like in the theater, and now the average time for the turnaround to a digital release is like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And like when a movie drops and I'm like, man, I gotta go see it. And if I don't see it the first week, like something in my mind goes, I'll just wait until it comes home.
Yeah.
Even if it's a movie like I believe Working Man is that with Jason Statham.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I
Mhm.
saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, I'm there day one," and it came out last week, and then this week I know I'm not gonna see it, and I'm like, I just waited till it comes out, brother. Like, it's like, and more movies are like that. Like, there was something that just Mickey 17. Like
Yeah.
I'm giving some behind the scenes things here. I believe we talked about all going to see that and doing a pod on it. And now it's dropping like next week on home. And I was like, man, it's like I hate it because that means that movie did not do great. But then it's like I'm also happy because I get to watch it in the comfort of my own home. So it's
Yeah.
like a catch 22. But for the big movies, I will go to the theater just to experience it. And
Yeah.
it's
What about you,
it's sad
Chris?
going to a theater and it's by itself.
I don't know. I feel like going to the theater is like going to the amusement park almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's like when you got that big ass screen. Don't get me wrong. Like beat it in your drawers on the couch is definitely always fun. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
But like to go out there, I know Marcus like the hot dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I do love a good hot dog. Like I know it was a dig from him, but like I do
No, you know
actually
what
I
like
do.
I
but,
do like hot dogs.
but
I got a freaking hat that has a hot dog on it. Hey, you know what? I ain't never gonna deny. I love a good glizzy, bro. It's all good.
Clip that.
Yeah. Hey,
but nah, it's like I mean, streaming definitely has made it convenient, but it takes away from shit being human, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
mhm.
go outside, get some air. If you're in the city, I catch the bus, take an Uber. or drive your own car or the bike, whatever, man, they get out for
But
a second.
it's
Well, I mean,
like
go ahead.
what I said earlier, like, going to a movie theater alone is sad. I'm not saying going to see the movie alone. It's just like there's certain movies that when they drop, it doesn't matter when you go. There's not a lot of people in the movie theater.
Yeah.
No,
And,
never.
and so I rather just watch it at home. And I've noticed in that if you something releases like over the weekend, like on Friday, by like Thursday of the next week, people are not watching it, which is crazy to me. And I remember because I used to work at a movie theater when I was a teenager. Like movies would be in there and people would become seeing it over and over and over again. But now it's not a thing.
Well, I mean, so I think one of the issues that I'm somebody who used to do that. I saw the first Spider-Man 13 times in the theater, but like,
God damn.
it's my record. It's my record. I'm a Spider-Man fanatic, bro.
I thought I was bad.
I saw was it oh my god,
Norbit.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. I saw it like 6 times in the movie theater each one. So
I thought I was bad. I went to go see Avengers that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I saw a regular
I
3D
did
and
that.
IMAX 3D.
But I did the Avengers thing because there was different groups of friends that it was like, yo, you got to come with us. And I was like, all right, like, twist my arm. I'll go see probably the best movie that's out. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think for a lot of people, like, again, the prices are just so high now that when they go to a theater, I think they want to get their money's worth. They want to know that they're going to get their money's worth. And it's, again, movies are a roll of the dice, So sometimes you just get a lot of movies nowadays that are just released to streaming. Specifically speaking, the movie we watched this week, which is based off of an old IP that like a lot of newer kids might not recognize, so it might be something fresh to them. But I picked the movie this week. The movie we watched is Ultraman Rising or Uprising on is it Rising or Uprising?
I thought it was Rising.
it's right.
Ultraman Rising on Netflix. And I was a big Ultraman fan back in the day. So I was kind of curious to see, what this new take on it was, and it didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to go in.
Hold on. So one thing you got to let the audience know is the first U.S. reboot.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This IP. So
that's what I'm saying. I didn't know much about this, so I didn't know what direction it was going to go, and it didn't go in the direction I thought. So I'm curious to see what you guys thought about it because, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Ultraman.
I have some thoughts. Like, I thought the movie was great. However, I feel like this is the alternate universe of Otani's life.
Yeah.
Otani,
what about you, Chris? You the resident animation expert.
Listen, I love my animation. I saw a whole lot of Iron Man in this.
like a lot of like references or a lot of like comparisons or what?
Like comparisons, like the house on the mountain got blown up. Even with the color scheme a little bit.
Yeah,
but they say that because this is like the Japan version of Superman. Like as much as we reference Superman in our life here, that's like their version. But also, I felt like the timing of each IP of Iron Man and Ultraman, it kind of like fits that they kind of borrowed from each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But is that a good thing? Because when you start seeing those references again, like the house on the cliff, with the minute they start doing all that Minority Report, fucking controls with the virtual reality controls and all that shit, like you can't help but start making comparisons. And sometimes you gotta wonder, like, should a IP or something like that like take the time to try to really fashion their own world versus just making something that kind of looks like something else?
I do. I mean, because you want to be original or as original as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that because when something is old as this particular IP, like we're talking from the late 1950s, early 60s, the origin. Yeah.
Well, not the movie, but the Ultraman.
I mean,
the character.
Ultraman, the character. It's like, I love the fact, and I'm going to applaud Netflix for this. They did not go into an origin story. They kind of like, Ultraman is here, the Kenji, the character that we follow, he's like
Soto.
Ultraman. Yeah.
Kenji Soto.
Yeah, they kept calling him Ken too,
yeah.
By the way, most of the movie. Yeah. So like he is the son. He later finds out that his dad was the original Ultraman.
Well, he doesn't really find, because they kind of knew. He kind of knew already.
Well, I feel like there were certain parts, like when they do the skip forward in 20 years, like I
Mhm.
think he knew then, but I don't think as a kid he knew because the way he talked about it, and he was like a big fan of Ultraman, and he just thought that his mom and dad worked with Ultraman. He didn't know that his dad was Ultraman.
I don't know.
I didn't catch that. I feel like he knew too.
Yeah, I feel like he knew that his dad was Ultraman, and like he loved Ultraman. Like, like I don't know. When I was watching it, I got a lot of first of all, I got a lot of like kind of Batman Beyond kind of vibes. That if you take Batman Beyond and Iron Man. But yeah, I it felt like Ultraman was kind of like their family what is it, family business
Mhm.
Okay.
kind of thing. And then, it was just, following the footsteps. I don't know if the movie kind of clarified why the falling apart. I don't know. There's a little bit of a it's a little muddled when it comes to the time jump and when certain things happen. But we'll get into that. Like, as far as Ultraman as the IP, like, what was your guys' familiarity with it before you watched the movie?
Oh,
You go
I
first.
never heard of it. This is my first time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
As much as and this is not like I'm ragging on you, but like of all the animes that you've seen and everything, like Power Rangers was like a spin-off of Ultraman. Like,
Yeah, it's like it
like
kind of got that same base. Chris only watches hentai. That's it.
and
I
Ultraman
can't even
even
spell it.
had a crossover with Godzilla because it deals with kaijus, like, huge monsters that
Well, that's Japan in general.
yeah,
Mhm.
Like they're like fuck the world. We got monsters over here.
Yep.
Like
yeah.
so.
But
Yeah.
my experience, like taking it back when I spent a couple years in Dominican Republic, um I got first introduced to the live action show and I thought it was hokey. This is way before Power Rangers and everything because I was out of mind that I was like, real life characters, I don't like that. That looks too much like a novella or whatever. Like, but
Yeah.
then the anime that came from it and like just finally hearing out, and I didn't really get too much information up until I was a little bit older, and I helped a buddy of mine who has the Ultraman licensing for his brand,
Mhm.
and like he got access to the archives, and I was like porting the stuff over to a drive to him, and I was like, man, this is a lot of rich history behind here,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then I kind of went back, like they have an amazing series on Ultraman that came out a couple years before the movie that kind of like gives you the origin story, and I would have to go back to make sure that it's like the same animation, or because I feel like this is a complete different spin-off because I don't
Yeah.
remember the son being in the actual series, but like yeah, I like it. At first I didn't. I'm not gonna lie because I always like whatever you get introduced first to, I'm always like, oh man, even if it's old, I was like, that's just a rip off of such and such.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. It's like when people watch Star Wars, like, oh, that's the original. They don't realize, and then they see John Carter. They're like, oh, they're just ripping off Star Wars. Like, no, no, John Carter is what Star Wars stuff like took a lot of its basis off of. Like,
Yeah.
you know. But no, in this movie, like again, I know they were they were rebooting it for a newer audience, trying to start the story anew. So like I like that, but there was one aspect with the time jump. Like I don't know if it really clarified why Kenji and his dad were butting heads like that. From what it's said, him and his mom moved to LA. I don't know why. We never really say why. They moved to LA, and then his dad stayed behind, and then his mom begged him when his dad got injured. His mom begged him to go back to help out his dad. But then,
And
like,
it's
but then his mom went missing. I don't know when his mom went missing.
so
Yeah.
they implied so he was playing for the Dodgers,
Mhm.
like he was one of the top draws there, and it's like the equivalent of Otani in
Yep.
the middle of his Dodger career, just going, "Hey, I need to void my contract," and he goes play for whatever the top team in Japan baseball is, and like
Yep.
it completely stops because of personal reasons. That's the equivalent, and him and his dad are estranged after the time jump, and then it's implied by the head of the federation that is trying to get him. The doctor is trying to get him to turn into Ultraman.
Yep.
That his mom passed. So like that's where we basically pick up. They don't really they gloss over it, and it wasn't until he finally got into the same room and had to seek out his dad. That his dad is kind of like, I'm still trying to find your mom, and Kenji was like, man, my mom died. Like I know you again, because like his character is very stubborn. And I
Yeah.
think that's where the point of the movie is, at least the lesson that I found is like he wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And he believes that only he is in control of his destiny and only he knows best. And and it's showed by his experience as a parent. Like, I feel like we can all see each other as him based on his character art.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. 'Cause I feel like they touched on it when he goes to meet the girl for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and she like reads him himself, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's like you always wanted your dad's attention, but he wasn't there
Yeah.
when his dad was there. But he was out there trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Because then they touch on it again when his dad gives him baseball. He's like, "You still got that? I thought I lost
Yeah.
it." So it's like I feel like that whole gap is. Well, I thought it was explained. Just
Well,
later.
because for me it was the thing where it was like, okay, it never implied why he left, why him and his mom left, and
Mhm.
why his dad stayed. Presumably, yeah, I'm assuming it's because it was dangerous, so they moved to L.A. and the dad stayed behind to be Ultraman and stuff like
That
that.
LA was better. Shit.
Well, but
There
I
are
mean,
like 15 gangs out there.
I think he wanted to play baseball, and his
Yeah.
dad saw it as a childhood hobby.
yeah, yeah. But no, but
That's
here's the thing: when he said his mom asked him when his dad got injured, his mom asked him to come back to Tokyo to help his dad out.
Mhm.
And become Ultraman. So I assume that's at the beginning of the movie when he leaves and he just shows up in Tokyo. He's with the baseball team now. But then he's listening to these phone messages like, "Oh, my mom's missing," or like something happened, she disappeared, and all this stuff. So like, when did that happen? When did it like? Because it felt like the movie started off with him coming to Japan, and there was no instance of showing like, oh, like where's my mom at? What happened? It's just
Mm.
I don't know. There was just that little bit right there where I wasn't sure when some of those events happened.
I think in the teaser, I hate to jump to the end in the teaser credit when they showed his mom. I think if this is going to be green light to have a sequel, I think they're going to explore all that.
Mhm.
But
I
like
didn't see
my
the
main,
I didn't see the hidden teaser whatever. Did you,
yeah,
Chris?
there was
I
an
did,
after
yeah.
credit scene.
All right, so
Yeah,
explain it to me. What happened?
So basically, they show what you presume is his mom based on what they've showed,
Mhm.
and she basically hits an alert, the watch alert to
Yeah.
say, "I need help," and that immediately alerts Ultraman where she's at and everything.
Yeah, it says like I'm still alive, come find me or something like that.
Yeah,
Or help me get home.
Chris, where do you think she's at? I have an idea, but
Shit, she's in Little Chinatown in LA.
no, I think she's undercover
Yeah,
at the
Popeyes.
at the Kaiju Island,
Yeah.
trying to help enslaved kaijus, because that was another thing that it took a different direction. That it was implied previously, and again, people don't attack me because I'm not super well versed in the Ultraman lore. I feel like this took more extra to, like, instead of exterminating the kaiju, there were more like the mom took more and the dad took more into like, hey, how can we coexist?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah,
where
that, one,
versus
that was one of the interesting takes. Is like again, if you just take this setup, put it in any other movie, essentially what you think is again we've seen this in stuff like Pacific Rim
Mhm.
and shit like that, where it's like kaiju versus humans, it's fight to the death kind of thing. And in this one, it was more of a like. We're trying to protect each other or something, or like, hey, he's just trying to like guide them away from the city versus actually killing the kaiju, which I thought
Yeah.
was kind of interesting. You think that's got something to do with like 2025?
I don't know. I
So-
think like
Or
it's been
presidentials?
No, I just mean it's like the whole idea of like instead of viewing something as bad, got to kill it, get it out of the way. It's more of like like everybody's got their own kind of stories in life. Like we should preserve life no matter
Mm.
what. So like instead of killing these things, like hey, just
I
let's guide them away from the city.
I think we're at a point as a society as a whole, well, at least most of the world, is that everything has its place. You know what I mean? And the circle of life. To quote Lion King.
All right.
Chris got some quotes, some actual quotes that he can pull out. So
I'm just saying.
It's like
Yeah.
it's legit. If you think about it, we already had that in media in the last like 3 Godzilla movies. The human race wasn't out there trying to murk Godzilla. They were kind of like, hey, let's make sure that we can live. And then if we need Godzilla, we'll have like a partnership that he helps the human race by destroying something that's actually evil.
yeah,
Mhm.
So I think like that's where this is at. Cause it's like, think about it, man. Like as a kid and as a cartoon thing, it is you wouldn't understand it, but it's basically the equivalent of every time the Power Rangers like Rita made the monsters big, and then like they're like, hey man,
Make my monster grow.
yeah, it's like yeah, I love the dub phase. It's like hey, why are you so mad, dog? Like what do you want to kill us? Do you want to destroy the humans? And like this having a conversation instead of, but it's like, think about it. This is a message that Japan has been sending us. Like if you're a Naruto fan, his biggest power was to talk no jutsu that he ultimately succeeded with. His quite arguably his greatest enemy, which
yeah,
was pain. He made an ally out of him by talking.
yeah.
Like it was like
I get it. I get it. It's just one of those things where it's like I didn't expect the story to go in that direction, which I like. I don't mind it. So it's just I mean I guess I'm so used to the idea of good versus evil that the nuances of story nowadays is like, okay, well let's not kill everything. Let's try to see if we can all work together, kind of thing.
yeah.
Chris, you look like
I
you're not
guess.
agreeing with that sentiment.
I'm still trying to like get with the movie. I mean, because you guys are going extra deep into it.
Yeah.
I just
Okay,
watched the
well, you're the only one who could really. You're the only one of us who could really relate to the story a little more, because at its core, this movie was about raising kids, and you're the only one with a multitude, a plethora, a whole baseball team's worth.
Hold on. You do a better job with your dog than I do with my kids.
Yeah, I know I do. So I'm.
I'd be like, man, fuck
Everybody, they're joking. They're joking. Be like, God damn.
kids. Speaking of, I got one right now. What you need?
Until you see how I treat my dog, then you're like, you know what? Chris is right. Sarat does treat his dog better than most people treat
No, Sarat teaches his dog like, I mean, Sarat's the type of person to become a billionaire and leave everything to his dog.
Yeah,
And
the
what's
motherfucker
right?
earned it. He makes me
And-
happy.
And appoint Marcos as the dog's guardian. Okay, so now that we're at this tangent, and from what I've never seen you interact with your dog in live person, but I know you're very close with your dog, just like I am. But so this is one thing: when you're walking your dog and your dog is taking too long, smelling or like getting his face into something that he shouldn't, like I feel always bad when I gotta tug him, because I feel like there's always gonna be a person that they're driving by or walking by and they're just gonna see me just tug his leash and be like, God damn, that guy's an asshole. But not see that I've been standing there for 2 minutes and this man is trying to like lick on a bag full of McDonald's that's been there for like 9 months.
No, wait, but real quick though, dog, don't dog. Marcus, Marcus, don't you got like a little pug or something?
No, I have it's a white poodle slash
You see that
chihuahua
man with
mix.
a little white poodle mix? Come on,
So what I'm saying is, you got a little poodle. Sarat has a fucking
corgi.
corgi. Okay,
Which is a cute ass dog. They
Okay,
like
but look at y'all. I got 2 pits. Like, I'm not letting them know. Like, if I'm walking on the street, I tell my dog, look, I'm walking here, I'm walking back home. If you don't use the bathroom this time, that's your ass when you get to the house.
but
I'm not waiting.
You see. That's his method of love.
But I love pits. I just grew up in the time in New York where pits were illegal to own.
Well, that's because motherfuckers don't know how to raise them, Chris.
Yeah.
Look,
Like, yo, there's a pit next door that if I could, I would just be like, hey man, you don't deserve this dog, because the original owner, the husband, he passed away, and I guess like the wife kept the dog and she's with a new dude, and like the dude doesn't walk him. I used to see the original dog dad every morning, and PJ is an amazing like friend to this pit, but like the guy just be outside in his robe like, hey, hey, get out there and finish your business. And the dog is like, what?
I didn't know you lived next to Chris. Come on.
Well,
And then
I'm not that bad. I
and then
let him go.
I'm being married to my Caucasian wife has turned me into like the Caucasian neighbor. I'm like, hey man, I can walk her, if you don't got some time. And he's like, nah, we good over here, fam. And I was like, oh. And then in my mind, I was like, I was trying to insert myself in something that's not my business.
Oh,
like,
man.
let me shut the fuck up.
Stop being a Karen. I told you.
Yeah.
Sarah's a Karen.
No,
when he pulls the Brian from the dog park, he holds him down and sanitizer. Like, I don't know the other dog's been. You know what I'm saying?
No. I might give him a bath because he got dirty.
No, you like those other dogs got diseases. I can tell by their fur looks.
No. But sometimes if you can see a dog, you're like, that dog got fleas, man. Let's just let's go.
Hey, hold on. My dog doesn't have fleas, but my dog does look homeless. He's like his dad. Me and him have scruff.
I know.
Like I'm about to get up. He's about to go to the barbershop, aka his groomer, and he's gonna get that Caesar.
You teach your dogs like humans, man.
He's gonna get a fade. My wife is like,
should have fade. He's gonna taper.
He's gonna get.
Make sure he gets his eyebrows done too. Shit,
bro. Every time I shave him down,
I'm a pointed sideburn.
Yo, every time I shave him down, his collar, because he has a high ass neck, his collar sits like here, so it looks like he's wearing a dog chain.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
When I walk Ryu, again, he'll take a little too long. I'm like, hey Ryu, and I'll give him a check with the leash. But hey, time to go. But there's smells. Like one, it's also it's mental training for them. It's like that's how they kind of take in the world and things like that with their mouth, with their smells. So you gotta let them it's like going to the store and not just walk through the store like this. Don't look at any of the ingredients. It's like you gotta let them motherfucker enjoy the world.
Any of the ingredients?
Yeah.
The products.
Well, I mean, it's also like it's mentally stimulating for them to go and smell different things. So you're helping.
But also, my dog loves trying to bullying dogs that are smaller but bigger than him. Big dogs, he's like, "What's up, bro?" Like they're mad cool. I thought one of your kids slapped the camera out.
It's a good thing you wasn't Winnie the Pooh in it, bro.
Yo, that would be funny as hell. It would be very traumatizing. I'd be like, "Oh God, I can't continue this pod."
That would just be the worst.
It'd be like that dude, the meme of that guy sitting on the bed.
Man.
Oh damn.
Like, Chris, man, what you doing after we get off the?
They don't worry about that.
So I didn't expect the movie to go in that direction of essentially, but he's playing, father daughter.
Shut up.
Why you got holes in your sweatpants?
Look. You know what? I actually do. Yeah, don't worry about that.
I know he pointed it out. But no, so
this shit is all fucked up.
It is a thing where I didn't expect it to go in that direction. I don't know if it was unexpected or it felt like kind of what they do with a lot of movies nowadays. It's like I guess maybe I expected a little more of an action movie versus something like that.
I felt like this movie I think the whole what is it, Emmy? That's the kaiju that he ends up saving.
Yeah.
I felt like she was introduced, number one, so you could see the other side of the battle, and number two is to humble Ken.
Yeah.
Because he was literally like the guy that's like, man, the only person I'm battling with is myself. Nobody can tell me what to do. I don't have to. I walk to a different beat of the drum or whatever. Like it is what it is. Like even when the girl was interviewing him and he poured the sauce over the noodles, she was like, "No, you're supposed to dunk it." And he basically said, "Bitch, you don't tell me what to do. I do what I want." And then he has posters of it. He basically, and it's like I hate to sound like a fogey right now, like an old man. It's like the generation that's coming behind us. Some kids are like, I don't owe the world anything, but the world owes me it all. What I mean?
Entitled?
Yeah, it was entitled and very cocksure. Like there's a difference between being entitled and being very humble about it. But he was like, nah, I'm talented, I'm this and that. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I want. I have access to all this. I'm also Ultraman. You know what I mean? And then the universe gave him a situation and
Yeah.
that humbled him and changed him. And like to the point that he wasn't in control of his training regimen. He was tired during the games because he had to deal with Emmy. He had to deal with her. His entire life turned upside down. So it was kind of like an allegory of like becoming a parent.
Yeah.
And like, and then he started understanding what his dad went through. And his dad, like, gave him a spoiler. He said the biggest struggle being Ultraman is balance. And he
Yeah.
thought it was like a balance of power. It's like, no, your life, because, you know, you have to be there for the world, but you also are a human that's living your life and have to care about somebody.
Yeah.
So the arrogance of the character was like, man, screw my dad. And that's why I think he moved to LA with his mom, because his mom didn't have that weight of responsibility. His mom was like, this is my child. He comes first. And even though she could have easily been like, hey, your dad is under a lot of pressure, is like, we don't become receptive to actual explanation until something is happening us that makes us stop, listen, and pay attention to something.
Yeah.
It's
Chris,
like,
Chris, as the only one of us who has kids, like,
yes.
did parenthood humble you in any way?
Fuck no.
I can see that.
Actually, I'm lying.
He had a full mustache before the kids, and now that shit just falling out.
It's just receding. The mustache is receding. At some point, he's gonna go to Turkey, get a mustache
Implant?
replace. Yeah,
Look,
implant.
I gotta go see Booker T, see if I can get those curls up there. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, I'm not gonna say it humbled me, but it definitely gave me a different way to view myself. It just
How? Explain.
I guess if you want to go with the movie, it's like when you're used to doing things on your own, being by yourself, and you've been living this way for God knows how long, and it's like I'm doing this because everything that I've done this my entire life. It's got me this far. Why am I going to change now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think people have to remember it got you that far. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody else is built like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was. I think I heard Marshawn Lynch say this, which said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's interesting because, like, I think one of the things that gets lost on a lot of people, especially when you're thinking of kids, is like, because you get those fun times. You take a picture with a kid, you see a kid stand up for the first time. And it's like, oh, those are those moments that are like, that you remember, and that's what all the dreamlike moments. But at the end of the day, like, for a long time, that kid is gonna depend on you for everything, just like a dog.
Yeah.
A dog, I can't communicate with my dog in English, so I can't assume it knows what I'm saying. So I got to try to figure out how to, like, convey what I want the dog to do, and in the right way so that it understands and listens. Chris don't convey stuff to his dog. Chris just be like, listen, if you don't do it, selling you for parts.
Look, that's you. You sell your dog for parts. I treat my okay. You know what? The way y'all treat your dogs like humans, but I guess I do the same thing. Where it's like you got the freedom to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't fuck me over while doing it.
Chris got that. He's like that. Chris's dog is treated like that uncle that just came to visit for a couple of weeks. He's like, hey man, you go buy your own food. You go buy your own food, and you flush. If you don't flush, you don't have a problem.
Look, yeah, you got to. You know what I'm saying? Like you wipe your dog's ass. Look.
Yeah, I know I do, because he can't be walking around. He can't be walking around with doo-doo on his butt, bro.
I mean,
wait, you wipe your dog's ass? I've never done that.
Yeah, well, your dog ain't got no hair on his ass. My dog's got he's got like a dump truck, bro. He walked down the street, stops traffic. So you know what I'm saying? I got to keep it looking sharp.
But I ain't gonna lie. I fat shamed my dog when we cut his hair down. I'm like, God damn, dog! Like I thought most of that was hair. But and like in the winter, he'd just be looking. He'd be like I know you making fun of me, motherfucker.
Okay, so let me ask
you
you
take your shirt off, and dog probably saying the same thing. I thought all that was clothes.
Hey, it's all good. It was all good. Like father, like son. That's my furry little man.
Oh shit! Here's a real question: do y'all feed y'all dog people?
Like all that scraps from the table?
Scraps on the table, or even leftovers that've been there too long, and like like this.
I know I'm not supposed to, but if I'm eating something, that little dude is eating, and he knows about it because he sits there and he.
I didn't know dogs like flan.
I know dogs like ramen and fish heads.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
That was a good comeback.
No, I give my dog. I'll give my dog like table scraps and stuff from the plate and stuff like that. But my dog gets fresh food. He don't got that char grilled fucking kibble, or he used to.
Nah.
You don't anymore. He's chew that shit.
Your dog ain't never no char grilled kibble, whatever you just called it.
No, he had that for a little while. He used to chew that shit and look at me like, "You gonna have me eating this shit?"
My dog, he gets a healthy science diet. That's what he's had since the first vet visit. They were like, "This is good for his weight, and they'll give nutrition." And I was like, "All right," because I barely eat breakfast myself. I'm not like my in-laws. My in-laws, they had a dog that passed away, but that dog used to get yogurt, used to get fruits and berries, eggs, used to have an entire meal and everything. And my dog, when he will go over, like when we went away, he'll come back and he'll be on a food hunger strike for like days.
Yeah,
and I'll
he's
be
looking at you like, man, you need to step your game up. That's real shit over there.
But
you're here giving me Cheerios every day, talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
About some watch my cholesterol.
But my dog. When it comes to me and him, like I know my dog. Like it's kind of like your car. Yeah. Like there's certain other dogs. Like my dog is not like that. That if you leave food, they'll be like, "That's not my food." My dog would just be like, "Oh man, I appreciate you." You'll come back and look at you like,
yeah.
like I had like I don't know.
Chris's dog steals his sandwich.
Yeah, he did. Or she did.
So I know we spoke about this in the group chat, but like I love chicken nuggets, and and a funny story.
You do? I never could have guessed it.
Whatever.
He loves chicken.
I mean, not everybody can eat a bucket of fish heads. Like you just have it on the side. Like,
first of all, I don't eat the bucket. I make broth out of it.
No,
I know.
No, you know what's funny about that? He does make broth, and he gets it like jerky. He's like, here, taste this. What is this? Fish jerky. Straight up fish head. Like, okay, whatever. So we're doing
squid jerky. Yeah, all that shit for 1,000-year-old eggs. All that.
Yeah.
So last year around Mania. Like the last day was a horrible day. I was up for like 21 hours. And when I got home, I passed out and like woke up like 9 hours later. You know how like you're still exhausted, but you're like, yo, the day started. Like I'm one of those people that I wake up and fight through it. And then just so I'm not up late and like so I ordered like McDonald's because I was exhausted. And I put my food down and then I laid my head back for 10 minutes, passed out. When I got up, PJ had pulled the entire meal to the floor and like cleaned it up. Yeah. And then was looking at me like I woke up and I'm looking at him and he's like, oh, I appreciate you. And I couldn't get mad because like if I was eating, he'll look at me and I'll just feed it to him from it. So he's probably like, oh, he left that for me.
Chris, I bet your Juice does the same thing.
Well, if it's on the floor, it's hers. Like she knows that.
Yeah,
but bro, it was on the couch. You left it on the plate, and she thought it was hers.
But that's when we first was being acquainted with each other. And she faked me out. She was like, "I'm gonna come sleeping. I'm gonna snore." I'm like, okay, yeah, I can run to the kitchen real quick. Came back. She's like, "Gotcha, bitch." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the worst feeling as a dog owner when you get up and you just let your guard down for half a second and it's like this motherfucker got me.
Ryu has never stole any of my food. It might be because he's too short to reach the table. But he's never actually he's actually fine. Like I'll give him anything, he's good, but he never really begs for food like that. Yeah.
Just won't beg. Little one will.
Yeah.
Back when pre-pandemic when Marcos used to pack a lunch every day and go to work every day. And I work from home, I was notorious for leaving my lunch on top of my coffee table or like, the little table by your door that you just throw shit. Mm-hmm. And I would always leave it there. And then I'm always the first one to go home. My man always, you saw like the remnants of it. He's like, I appreciate it. Like, that was a good one. Like, ooh, was that a chicken? That was a ham and cheese sandwich? Thanks, Dad. Like,
hold on. Can we rewind for a second?
Yeah.
You said you would pack your lunch to go to work and you work from home?
Yeah.
No. Before I worked from home.
Okay. I'm going to say, I was like, you packed lunch and went upstairs? Where'd you go?
No. Like, because
the same thing.
Like in the campus that I work at, right? It's a food desert, and I'm a weird guy. Like, yo, if I have to get up and leave a place to go get food, like get in my car, I'm not going to do that. I'll just, which is poor for your diet. Like I would just eat breakfast if I remember, and then not eat until I get home, and then I'll eat everything on site,
Yeah.
like that I can see. And so my wife was like, "I'm going to break you out this habit," and for like the first 3 months, like literally 3 out of the 5 times a day, I would forget my lunch and breakfast on the table, and my dog would be like, "I appreciate you, big dog."
Uh,
Like,
right,
you ain't gotta lie on camera.
Yeah.
And I hope your wife don't hear this part. Just say you didn't like her cooking.
yeah.
No.
That's why you forgot
I love
it,
my
'cause you
wife's
look, you
cooking.
forgot
Like
my
all
food.
jokes aside, I put this on everything. My wife is probably the best cook outside of my mom that I've ever met. And the only reason my mom is ranked higher because my mom makes dishes that only your mom can make. Like, they're not
Yeah.
going to win 5-star restaurants, but it's like, yo, that's
That's what you
comfort
grew up
right
on.
there.
I
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it.
All right.
But
So
so you forgot breakfast and lunch. I mean, Marcus.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think you forgot much food.
all right. So we're getting back to the movie. The relationship between Kenji and Emmy, like that whole parent-child thing going on. Do you think the way it came across in the movie, did it feel contrived and theatrical, or did it feel like it was an honest representation of what it's like to watch your child, progress?
That's for Chris because
You guys are so much worse than I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because y'all kids are your dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. You,
yeah,
you
but
had the
I would
experience. We're
never
asking you.
compare.
We're
I would
asking
never.
you.
I know, but the funny part is, y'all be tucking your dogs in at night and reading bedtime stories. Like, get your ass in there, go to sleep, your light off. That's my bedtime. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, again, I feel personally attacked.
My dog sleeps in our room in his crate, and that's his personal apartment. He likes to go upstairs when there's a certain time. When there's a certain time, he's a bitch. When I say that with all this love, there's a certain time, like if my wife, because she's the first one that goes to bed, when she gets up, like and grabs her phone, he immediately starts barking with excitement because he's like, "Oh, it's bedtime," and it's like that's something I don't know how he picked this up, but like he always goes there. Like we don't even close the crate. He loves to sleep in his own space.
Yeah.
And it's like it's annoying at times because like you can't even move. Like if we're watching the movie, he'll be like, and then he don't stop until like you move the baby gate and he runs upstairs and then if you don't go upstairs, he'll come back down and like just keep barking like, hey, like it's almost like he's training us. Like, come on, dog. Like I want to go upstairs.
The other day, I fell asleep on the couch, and it was like 2 a.m. I woke up to Ryu just going, like standing there, just pushing me. I'm like, oh, maybe you need to go outside to go to the bathroom. So I got up to go outside to bring him outside. He walked up the stairs and looked at me. I was like, we going to bed? We going upstairs to bed? He walked upstairs, hopped on the bed, and just was like, laid out like he pays bills. No, but do you think in the movie, do you think that relationship between Emmy and Benji was Chris about to?
Look, this shit pissed me
I
off.
thought he was gonna do.
Todd's about to fucking attack.
I thought he was gonna do a Bray Wyatt entrance, like, yeah, like we're here.
Look,
It's him and his dog.
Because is that do you think that's like do you think that was a solid or realistic representation of parenthood, or do you think it was just kind of hammed up for like let's make this thing cool, let's have the fucking the kaiju fucking playing baseball?
I mean, well, it's a kaiju, you know what I'm saying? It's not real, but I feel like the description that the reporter gave him, like he asked her, how do you do it, everything else, and she was like, sometimes it can be a little monster in case they be.
Yeah.
But then, they'll show you things that you didn't even know about yourself and everything. I actually do believe that's true because, like I said, we talked this before. I feel like some parents want their kids to be just like them, that they're trying to push themselves on them.
Yep.
Not realizing they are gonna be just like you, but their own version of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do think like her conversation, I think that was very real. But the way they showed it in the movie and everything, I think that was him.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, because again, like you said, there's a lot of instances that I hear about. I don't have any experience with it, but that you hear about where it's like, parents living vicariously through their kids, pushing their dreams on their kids or the things they want to do. Like, oh, because I played football, I want my kids to play football. And it's like, no, yeah, you're right. Your kids are going to turn into a kind of a representation of who you truly are, but just in their own way, as long as you let them kind of develop, the way they need to develop. But at what point do you sit there and go, hey, man, I got to kind of push this kid along. Otherwise, he's going to be, sitting at home, like shitting in his hand all day.
I I mean, there's sometimes I do need to kick the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know we keep going back to dog and everything, but I really feel like
Are you trying to tell us you kick your dog in the ass quite frequently?
no, I do not abuse my animals. Say
Okay. He,
they might
he
get, they might
said,
get,
he,
they might
like
get
Your
shot or
Honor,
something.
I do not beat my animals, Your Honor.
Speaking
No,
of,
I do not have sexual relations. What are
Oh,
you doing? Here, see, terrible, terrible.
why
Look,
why are you holding his crotch? Leave that back. Look, that's why he's like, wait a minute.
look, why you got your
this
dogs?
boy long, brother. You got to hold him the right way. If you don't hold
Oh
him like
man,
that, you get back problems.
Look, oh
oh man,
God,
he's a cute chunkster.
look, right, man. If you don't put me down,
All
somebody's
right, he's
chilling.
like, see, look, he yawning. He's like, yeah, I've been taking naps. Yeah, right. You
Does
said,
I swear.
is it just him there, or do you guys have a second dog too?
oh no, Jesse's asleep on the couch right now. Hold on.
Same breed or different breed?
Look, she's around working out. She's like, yo,
Yeah.
they're breathing heavy.
Jesse's a Heinz 57.
Uh,
He was found by a trash can.
Oh man,
I mean,
No, it's for real. Like he's got a whole bunch of everything in him, and he was found when he was like 2 months old, and apparently like they think his mom got hit by like a car, and so he's
now,
arrested.
I'm gonna have to get my dog. Hold on.
Oh, are you?
I want to be cool guy.
Yeah, y'all can be cool and when I ain't getting my dogs outside. Fuck.
Yeah, because your dog got that fucking Bane mask on because he's gonna gnaw something off.
Oh man,
You bring out Jews looking like Hannibal Lecter.
oh
I'm just gonna
man.
come back with a hot dog. Watch.
Come on,
See?
up, come on, up.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, Aki.
Oh shit.
Y'all do got the same hair.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm looking at the resemblance is hilarious.
He's my
Oh.
man. Everybody at work knows him. He'll sit in meetings, like, and he'll just be like that.
Look at his face. He's like, why am I here? Why am I here? Where's the chicken things?
Wait, Dad, I need a haircut, Dad. You got me with a mohawk.
Man,
Oh no, the mohawk, that's the standard look. It's just everything else. We leave his beard and the mohawk and everything else. He's like slimmed down, and
Yeah.
now he's like standing next to me, like, "Yo, you called me, bro. Now I'm here."
man.
Chris can't grab Juice because Juice is on work release right now.
She outside not getting gin.
No, but I do love Pitts, but I think PJ is too much of a dick to be around a Pitt.
Yeah,
Like he's the type of dog because he's old. He's like 11. He'll like bark at a dog or growl just because they exist. Man, leave me the hell alone.
yeah. No, I
That's
feel
one of
that.
those.
Yeah,
But I guess, but to get back to what we were talking about, it's like, like how you guys are with your dogs and everything. Like, just like, do you think you'd be the same if you had a child?
I hope that I'm gonna be a better dad than a dog father, because like I do lazy shit with my dog. Like sometimes I take him on an abbreviated walk. I feel like I wouldn't do that with a child. I wouldn't like half-ass like, you know what? I'm gonna let you wait with your diaper a little bit longer. Like
Oh man,
no, I'll be honest with you. This is just true shit. If I treat my kid half as good as I treat my dog, I think he'll be a great kid. Sometimes I go a little overboard with my dog. You know, he got more Celtics jerseys than me. Come on, like,
yeah. I'm
all
telling
right,
you,
you can go upstairs, PJ. Go. He's
you don't
looking at me
understand.
like
Banaki.
no, he went
Para,
went upstairs. No, he was looking at me like, and then I just said upstairs, and he ran up. He's back on the couch.
that's what he
That's
did
his
for?
office.
Oh man,
I thought you was gonna bring you a fucking ballpark Frank. Here's my dog.
I wish, but like I would bankrupt us financially if there was an invention that you could understand what the dog is saying. But my luck is all obscenities and like hot takes about political stuff.
oh gosh,
Okay, so this movie again, like we said, it is a reboot for the Ultraman, IP for modern audiences. Do you think it's a good build? Do you think it's got a solid foundation to where they can build upon it and make more movies?
I think so.
yeah, I do. I mean, like I said, I don't know all about the deep history of it, like I was explaining, but watching the movie on its own, because for me, it created its own story.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was good. And if there's a sequel, which goes into his mom's existence or whatever the case may be, I'll definitely watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Chris, will you go back? Does this spawn you going back and trying to find Anything you can find on Ultraman? Because I know Netflix has a couple different things.
No. Chris has a history with shows and movies like that. Like, he just found out some shit maybe like 6 months ago about shows like Power Rangers that like is blew his mind. So he might not be able to like watch those things the right way.
This shit is so fucked up. I was like, let's see, I'm 39 now. I was like 37 years old when I realized that the bots of Power Rangers were actual people. Look, I know it sounds stupid as fuck, but you gotta
wait. Like
you
didn't know that there was people wearing like cosplay gear?
Okay, hear me out.
You thought they were robots?
No.
Oh, you thought they were action figures. I could get it if you thought they were action figures and then they were like filmed on a scale.
Okay, see, I felt like it's not like claymation, but because it was all boxed out and everything, the movements weren't all good, and in the background was always so little. I'm thinking they got like some sort of like action figure or something that they're doing.
So you thought it was filmed in an aspect ratio, like pretty much every Tom Cruise movie that they make him seem tall.
Know damn well he thought them monsters came down from space.
No.
This Cadillac got with this, and created this giant robot.
When it was regular size, I knew it was people in costumes. But when they was like, make my monster grow, I was just like,
you thought the Rita was making people grow.
No,
you thought they were building 18-story monsters.
Yeah, okay. Matter of fact, the last Jacket, when the Godzilla dick was walking through the town, I thought it was something like that. So I'm sitting there watching a drunk night one night, and I'm like, that's a whole human in there.
Hey, Chris, this is not the actual sword. This is not the actual sword from Zelda, okay?
Oh, gosh.
Just want to let you know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when Chris told me that, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, man, I just realized.
That was my blind, whatever you want to call it, my blind moment. I was sure, wait a minute.
Oh, shit.
That's a dude in some black leggings. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
All right, yo. Okay, guys, final thoughts on Ultraman Uprising.
I guess I'll go first. Yeah, like I said, I liked it. I thought it was good as a first time viewer, not knowing the history of it.
Yeah,
I thought it told a good story. I am curious to know about the mom, whether she's hiding in LA or on Kaiju Island or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Getting her freak on with some kaijus.
But hold on, I do got a question though before we end this.
About getting your freak on with some kaijus?
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? How's it happen? No. How did they get in the city?
Huh?
The egg.
Because remember, when the gigant, I forget, what was it? What they call it, Gigantor, or
it was protecting that egg.
Yeah. So what happened was the helicopters were bringing. It looked like a little thing that was lit up, and the kaiju was following it because he was trying to get it back.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Let's just say that they did exist on Kaiju Island. Mm-hmm. They would have had to get to the island to get to the egg. Am I right?
Yeah, but the Kaiju Island is monitored by what is it, JDF,
KDF, the Kaiju Defense Force.
Yeah, they were monitored. It's like a prison / the Kaiju literally came from different places. I think they're dumping them all on Kaiju Island. As far as I remember, I might be wrong based on Sarat's facial expression, or
I just remember them saying that they didn't know where the Kaiju Island was.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
So how could they get the egg?
I think they just I don't know where they got the egg from. They found it. Clearly, they found it. But they said that when they thought that Gigantor, I think his name was her name was Gigantor, right?
Yeah, they did a zombie version of her later in the movie, which was sad.
Mm-hmm. No, but she was under. It wasn't necessarily a zombie. They put fucking armor on her.
Well, you thought they just pasted on her, bro?
No, but I'm just saying. I think they kind of turned her like almost cyborgy. Like they put her inside it, and then but they can control it.
Yeah.
But I think it was a matter of like because they said that when she died, that she was like the last one, the last kaiju.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why they really wanted the egg or whatnot. I don't know. What did you think of the movie, Marcos?
I thought the movie was excellent. I love the animation. Like this animation style fits. Like you know what I mean? It wasn't like it wasn't like the movie that like that one. It was just weird. Like this one, like everything that they did fits. It was a modern interpretation. I love the voice actors. And there's a bunch of little featurettes on YouTube that you guys could go out and see. It kind of give a background of like the actor's experience, the whole movie, the development of it. Like I like this, and and this is a person that I initially, when I came across Ultraman, I was like, oh, that's cool, but I wasn't like, like this is the shit. And now this makes me actually want to go back and check out a couple things that I missed. Because I like it. I like when the story is going. I wish that we get a legit westernized like Ultraman movie, like with our special effects and like art written to us. But I also feel like that's not our story to tell because it's Japanese IP. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I like the movie. I thought, again, for newer audiences, it's a great reintroduction into Ultraman for young kids, and nowadays it's a very accessible story. It was actually, the movie was actually directed by this guy Shannon Tindall, but he directed one of my favorite animated movies, which was Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yep.
Okay.
Good movie.
Fucking awesome. But so I think this might just be me. And this I'm gonna do the fucking what is it, the
Asian
emo, the emo fan thing where like I want to see a serious version. Like, I would love to see a serious version of like an Ultraman movie where like it's action packed and it's a little more like a little more of a little more of tension and a little more nuance, like just something that's a little more like with a little more at stake. Because of this, and at the end of the day, when you watch this movie, there's no point where you feel like anything crazy might happen. But I kind of want to see an Ultraman movie where maybe I don't want to say ultra violent, but a violent Ultraman movie. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'm with it too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka at the Sunset Kid. How's everybody doing out there?
And your boy Chris about to get ready for dust. I'll be safe.
And take care of your pets, because your pets is your kaijus.
Yeah.
Chris.
My pets is good. They're good.
I guess we'll see y'all next
they protect
time.
the house.
All right.
How y'all doing out there?
I'm a warrior.